Gordon was resting in a side igloo. "Hello, fat face," whistled Henry. "What cheek," spluttered Gordon. "That Henry's too big for his wheels. Fancy speaking to me like that. Me," he went on, letting off steam. "Me, who has never had an accident."
Oh, but Gordon, aren't jammed whistles and burnt safety valves accidents?
"No, indeed," said Gordon huffily. "High spirits might happen to any engine, but to come off the rails, well, I ask you, is it right? Is it decent?" A few days later, it was Henry's turn to take the express. Gordon watched him getting ready. "Be careful, Henry," he said. "You're not pulling the flying kipper now. Mind you keep on the rails today." Henry snorted away. Gordon yawned and went to sleep, but he didn't sleep long. "Wake up, Gordon," said his driver. "A special train's coming and we're to pull it." "Is it coaches or trucks?" "Trucks," said his driver. "Trucks," said Gordon crossly. "Pah!" They lit Gordon's fire and oiled him ready for the run. The fire was sulky and wouldn't burn, but they couldn't wait, so Edward pushed him to the turntable to get him facing the right way. I won't go, grumbled Gordon.
"Don't be silly, don't be silly."
Gordon tried hard, but he couldn't stop himself being moved. At last he was on the turntable, Edward was uncoupled and backed away, and Gordon's driver and fireman jumped down to turn him round. The movement had shaken Gordon's fire. It was now burning nicely and making steam. Gordon was cross and didn't care what he did. He waited till the table was halfway round and moved slowly forward. He only meant to go a little way, just far enough to jam the table and stop it turning, as he had done once before, but he couldn't stop himself, and slithering down the embankment, he settled in a ditch. "Oosh!" he hissed as his wheels churned the mud. "Get me out! Get me out!" "Not a hope," said his driver and fireman. "You're stuck, you silly great engine. Don't you understand that?" They telephoned the Fat Controller. "So Gordon didn't want to take the special and ran into a ditch," he answered from his office. "What's that you say? The special's waiting? Tell Edward to take it, please. And Gordon? Oh, leave him where he is. We haven't time to bother with him now." On the other side of the ditch, some little boys were chattering. "Coo-hoo, doesn't he look silly? They'll never get him out." "Pshaw," said Gordon, and blew away 3 tadpoles and an inquisitive newt. Gordon lay in the ditch all day. "Oh dear," he thought, "I shall never get out." But that evening they brought floodlights. Then with powerful jacks they lifted Gordon and made a road of sleepers under his wheels to keep him from the mud. Strong wire ropes were fastened to his back end. And James and Henry, pulling hard, at last managed to bring him to the rails. Late that night, Gordon crawled home, a sadder and a wiser engine. Two men were cleaning Gordon. "Mind my eye," Gordon grumbled. "Shut it, silly. Did you ever see such mud, Bert?"
"No, Alf, I never did. You ought to be ashamed, Gordon, giving us extra work like this."
The hosing and scrubbing stopped. Gordon opened one eye, but shut it quickly. "Wake up, Gordon," said the Fat Controller sternly, "and listen to me. You will pull no more coaches till you're a really useful engine." So Gordon had to spend his time pulling trucks. Goods trains, he muttered. He felt his position deeply. That's for you, and you, and you, Gordon said crossly. Oh, 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 screamed the trucks as he shunted them about the yard. Trucks will be trucks, said James, watching him. They won't with me, snorted Gordon. I'll teach them, go on. And another truck scurried away. They tried to push me down the hill this morning, Gordon explained. It's slippery there. You'll probably need some help. I don't need help on hills, said James huffily. Gordon laughed and got ready for his next train. James went away to take the express. Slippery hills indeed, he snorted. I don't need help. Come on, he puffed. All in good time, grumbled the coaches. The train was soon running nicely, but a distant signal checked them close to Gordon's hill. The home signal showed clear, and James began to go faster. He started to climb the hill. I'll do it, he puffed confidently. Halfway up he was not so sure. I must do it, he panted desperately. But try as he would, his wheels slipped on the leaves, and he couldn't pull the train at all. Help, 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 whistled James. His driver shut off steam, carefully put on the brakes, and skillfully stopped the train. Phew! He sat down and mopped his face. I've never known that happen before. I have, said the fireman, in Bingham Tunnel, southern region. The guard poked his head in the cab. Now what? He asked. Back to the station, said the fireman, taking charge, and send for a banker. So the guard warned the signalman, and they brought the train safely down. But Gordon, who had followed with the goods train, saw what had happened. I thought you could climb hills, he chuckled. James didn't answer. He had no steam. Ah, well, we live and learn, said Gordon. We live and learn. Never mind, little James, he went on kindly. I'm going to push behind. Whistle when you're ready. James waited till he had plenty of steam, then... Pull hard, puffed Gordon. We'll do it, puffed James. Pull hard, we'll do it. The engines puffed together. Clouds of smoke and steam towered from the snorting engines as they struggled up the hill. We can do it, puffed James. We will do it, puffed Gordon. The greasy rails sometimes made Gordon's wheels slip, but he never gave up, and presently he reached the top. We've done it, they puffed. Gordon stopped. Poop, poop, he whistled. Goodbye. Beep, 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 beep. Thank you. Goodbye, answered James. Gordon watched the coaches wistfully till they were out of sight. Then slowly he trundled back to his waiting trucks.
One day Thomas was at the junction when Gordon shuffled in with some trucks. "Whew!" said Thomas. "What a funny smell. Can you smell a smell? I can't smell a smell, said Annie. It's a funny, musty sort of smell, said Thomas. No one noticed it until you did, grunted Gordon. It must be yours. Not long ago, Gordon had fallen into a dirty ditch. He knew that Thomas was teasing him about it. Annie and Clarabelle, do you know what I think it is? Said Thomas. It's ditch water. Gordon didn't have time to answer, as Thomas was soon coupled to Annie and Clarabelle, and then he puffed quickly away. Thomas left the coaches at the station and went off to a mine for some trucks. Long ago, miners digging for lead had made tunnels under the ground. The tunnel roofs were strong enough to hold trucks, but they could not take the weight of the heavy engines. A large notice said, "Danger! Engines must not pass this point." Thomas had been warned, but he didn't care. He had often tried to pass the sign before, but had never succeeded. He knew the rules. He had to push empty trucks into one siding and wait to collect full ones from another. This morning he laughed as he puffed along. He had made a plan. Silly old board, he said to himself, getting nearer and nearer to the danger sign. Now for my plan, said Thomas, and he bumped the trucks fiercely, jerking the driver off the footplate. Come back, called his driver, but it was too late. Stupid old board, said Thomas as he ran past it. There's no danger, there's no danger. Look out, cried the driver. There was a rumbling noise and the rails quivered. The fireman jumped clear. Then the rails sagged and broke. Fire and smoke, said Thomas. I'm sunk. And he was. Thomas could just see out of the hole, but he couldn't move. Oh dear, he said, I am a silly engine. And a very naughty one, too, said the Fat Controller, who had just arrived. I saw you. Please get me out. I won't be naughty again, said Thomas. I'm not sure, said the Fat Controller. We can't lift you out with a crane, because the ground is not firm enough. Let me see. I wonder if Gordon could pull you out. When Gordon heard about Thomas, he laughed very loudly. Down a mine, is he? Ho, 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 what a joke, what a joke, he chortled, puffing quickly to the rescue. Poop, poop, little Thomas, Gordon whistled. We'll have you out in a couple of puffs. Poop, poop, poop. The men fastened strong cables between Gordon and Thomas. Are you ready? Heave, called the Fat Controller. But they didn't pull Thomas out in 2 puffs. It was a lot harder than they had all thought. Gordon worked hard, but it took a long time to finally pull Thomas out of the hole. I'm sorry I was cheeky, said Thomas. That's all right, Thomas, said Gordon. You made me laugh. Thomas was very pleased that Gordon was not angry with him anymore. Thomas's fire had gone out, so he needed a pull back to the station. Can we go together? Asked Thomas. Of course we can, said Gordon. I'll pull you back. Thank you very much, said Thomas. And buffer to buffer, the 2 friends puffed home.
The stations on the line were being painted. The engines were surprised. They asked the painters why the stations were being painted. Well, because the Queen is coming, so there. The engines in the shed were excited and wondered who would pull the royal train. Edward knew it wouldn't be him, but I'm too old to pull important trains. Gordon knew it wouldn't be him.
Well, I'm in disgrace. The Fat Controller would never choose me.
But James, the red engine, was confident. Well, he'll choose me, of course. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it at all. But Henry couldn't agree.
Choose you? Choose you? You can't climb hills. He will ask me to pull it, and I'll have a new coat of paint. You wait and see.
One day, when it rained, Henry's driver and fireman stretched a tarpaulin from the cab to the tender to keep themselves dry. Henry puffed into the big station. A painter was climbing a ladder above the line. Henry's smoke puffed upwards in a big cloud. It was thick and black. The painter choked and couldn't see. Oh! He missed his footing on the ladder, dropped his paint pot and fell, whoa, plop, onto Henry's tarpaulin. The paint poured all over Henry's boiler and trickled down each side, and the paint pot perched on Henry's dome. The painter clambered down and shook his brush at Henry. "Ah, you spoil my clean paint with your dirty smoke, and then you take the whole lot and make me go and fetch some more. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear." Dear me, you look like an iced cake, Henry. That won't do for the royal train. Oh no. I'm afraid that I must make other arrangements, yes. And he walked over to the yard. Gordon and Thomas saw him coming, and both began to speak at once. Please, sir, I want—"
Excuse me, sir, but I was thinking. Now, one at a time, please, one at a time. Now, what is it, Gordon? Well, sir, I just wanted to ask you if Thomas could have his branch line back again. I see. And what do you want, Thomas?
"Oh, please, sir, can Gordon pull coaches again?"
I see. So that's it. Well, you've both been quite good lately, and you deserve a treat, so when the Queen comes, Edward will go in front and clear the line, Thomas will look after the coaches, and Gordon will pull the train.
The great day came. Percy, Toby, Henry and James worked very hard bringing people to the town. Thomas sorted all their coaches in the yard. "They're coming! They're coming!" Edward steamed in, looking smart. Everyone knew that whistle, and a mighty cheer went up as the Queen's train glided into the station. Gordon was spotless, and his brass shone. The Queen was met by the Fat Controller, and before doing anything else, she thanked him for their splendid run. The Fat Controller bowed and said,
"Not at all, Your Majesty. Thank you."
And then the Queen said to the Fat Controller, "We have read a great deal about your engines. May we see them, please?" So he led the way to where all the engines were waiting. Toby and Percy said, "They're coming, they're coming." Henry and James said, "Shh." But Toby and Percy were too excited to care. The Fat Controller told the Queen their names, and she talked to each engine. Next day, the Queen spoke specially to Thomas, who fetched the coaches, and to Edward and Gordon, who took her away, and no engines ever felt prouder than Thomas and Edward and Gordon, the big engine.